Hey everyone! Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment down below because I really want to hear from you and it helps me so much. Seriously, it makes a huge difference. And I love seeing what you all think. Okay, let's get into it. Today, we're talking about KATSEYE's brand new unreleased song, Internet Girl, which they just performed live on their tour. I haven't listened to the full song yet because I want my first full impression to be with a studio version. You know, keeping that first listen moment pure. But from what I've caught in the snippets and clips, honestly, I kind of mess with it. I think it's really catchy, and even though the lyrics are a little questionable at times, it still hits in a way that makes you want to dance along. So let's talk about the performance itself. This was during the opening night of their world tour, and I have to say, even just seeing the snippets, it looked amazing. The energy, the choreography, the visuals, everything is on point, which is exactly what I expected from them. They are really good at taking something that could feel weird or off and turning it into a moment that feels iconic on stage. That's kind of their thing, honestly. And with Internet Girl, you can see that they're going for this big, over the top pop energy that's fun and a little chaotic in a way that's very cat's eye. The whole idea behind the song, from what I can tell, is that it's about being this popular internet girl, like someone who's getting all the attention online, being constantly clicked on, shared, talked about, and even hated sometimes, which is kind of the reality of being in the spotlight today. Now, about the lyrics. Okay, first of all, everyone's talking about the eat zucchini line, right? So here's the thing. I want to break it down for you because it's actually kind of interesting. On the surface, eat zucchini could literally mean consuming the vegetable. Zucchinis are low calorie, healthy foods, so one interpretation is that it's about diet culture and the pressure to eat certain foods to maintain a specific body type. In the context of Internet Girl, it could be a metaphor for how young women are pressured online to conform to beauty standards, to look perfect in every photo, and to maintain a body that the internet and social media find acceptable. So, on that level, it's not just a random vegetable, it's kind of a commentary on the absurd and sometimes unhealthy expectations placed on women by society and the internet. But at the same time, we all know that zucchini has a certain shape, right? The same way the eggplant emoji gets used as a joke online. Fans picked up on that immediately, and that's where the second meaning comes in. The more playful, coded, grown folks will understand version. It's basically a cheeky way of telling haters to get lost without ever saying anything explicit. And here's the funny part, Lara basically confirmed this on Weverse without fully spelling it out. A fan literally asked her what it meant, and she said something like, think about a zucchini. We're telling some haters to back off. We're saying eat a zucchini. That's that. She didn't say anything inappropriate, but she definitely hinted at what everyone already suspected. So that pretty much tells you the line is supposed to work on two layers, the clean, literal vegetable meaning and the snarky, leave us alone metaphor. That's what makes it fun, especially for a song like Internet Girl that already plays with satire and internet culture. It's just edgy enough to make fans scream laugh, but still clean enough to perform at a concert. And honestly, for me, since I haven't heard the whole song yet, it makes the lyric even more interesting because out of context, it's like, huh? It makes you stop and think, wait, what do they actually mean here? And that mystery is part of what's making people replay the clip a million times. The dance move during that part is super quirky too. It looks like a little sock puppet or like they're pretending to eat or hold something in their hands. It's fun, it's bizarre, and it fits the playful irony of the song. You can see why fans are obsessed and confused at the same time. It's exactly the type of line that makes a song memorable. The concept of the song is actually really interesting once you start paying attention. On the surface, it's really fun, catchy, poppy track that's easy to get stuck in your head. But underneath, it's like a commentary on being famous online and how the internet treats young women in pop culture. They're being celebrated for their looks, their outfits, their performances, but at the same time, they're being objectified, judged, and scrutinized. And that's part of the whole internet girl narrative. It reminds me a little bit of the way Olivia Rodrigo approached All American Bitch with that whole irony and duality. On the outside, it seems aspirational, but there's a darker undercurrent that reveals the pressure and toxicity of attention. KATSEYE is kind of doing the same thing with Internet Girl, and even though the lyrics are sometimes a little weird, the message is still there if you listen closely. I also want to talk about the sound because that's where it really hits for me. The snippets I've heard have this gnarly 2.0 vibe, which is kind of what I expected. It's poppy, it's upbeat, it's got a little Disney Channel energy in a way, and it just makes you want to move. The production is clean, the beats are fun, and it really does feel like something that could go viral, especially because the choreography is super shareable. Like, you can see someone doing that little eat zucchini move on a TikTok clip, and suddenly it's a meme, which I think is exactly what they're aiming for. I also get the vibe that they're inspired by Hannah Montana's Supergirl energy, the whole everybody's watching me, but it's not as easy as it seems idea. It's kind of a nod to that pop culture legacy, and it works. It might not be exactly the same level of lyrical depth, but the energy and intent are there. One thing I really like is that KATSEYE isn't trying to be too serious with this. They could have gone the route of making it all about just being viral or just about clout, but instead, they're poking fun at the situation a little, being self-aware, and playing with the absurdity of the internet world. That's something I really appreciate about them as a group. They know how to make things fun while still keeping some commentary in there. And honestly, I think that's why, even with the questionable lyrics, the song works. It's playful, it's ironic, it's catchy, and it fits their brand. It's not just trying to be a deep emotional ballad, it's a statement pop song, and that's fine. As for the choreography, it slaps, obviously. That's one thing I never have to worry about with KATSEYE. They can take something a little weird or gimmicky and make it iconic on stage. The dance moves are precise, fun, and just entertaining to watch. You can tell they put a lot of thought into it, and they clearly had fun with it, which is the most important thing. They're performers, and even if the lyrics are a little strange, the performance itself is top tier. Watching the snippets makes me wish so badly I was at the tour, but I'll live through the clips everyone posts online, which, by the way, if you went to the concert, I am so jealous, and I hope you had the best time ever. Please, if you post videos, tag me or share them. I would love to see them. Another thing I find interesting is how this song might fit into their overall discography. I feel like KATSEYE is trying to build this world for themselves where they can be experimental, playful, and a little unpredictable. Internet Girl is like a natural extension of that. It's gnarly in a way that feels like a sequel to their previous hits, but it also pushes the boundaries a little bit more with internet commentary, the cheeky lyrics, and the fun choreography. It's not perfect, there are lines that are questionable like we talked about, but it's interesting, it's bold, and it gets people talking, which is exactly what a pop song in 2025 should do. I also want to talk about the fan reactions because honestly, they're all over the place, and that's part of the fun. Some people are saying it's awful, some people are loving it, and some people are just confused. And I get it, if you just hear "eat zucchini" out of context, it sounds ridiculous. But once you see the choreography, the performance, and the energy, it all makes sense in a weird pop culture way. I actually enjoy seeing these kinds of mixed reactions because it means the song is doing its job, it's memorable, it's talked about, and people are engaging with it. KATSEYE has always been great at that. They know how to create buzz, and they know how to make something that people remember. Honestly, I think the reason I like it so much is that it feels like them. It doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel like they're trying to chase a trend. They're just leaning into their own style and doing something a little bold, a little weird, and a little fun. That's what makes it exciting. Even if the lyrics were a little cringe for some people, the overall energy, the fun, and the performance outweigh that for me. I get the vision they're going for, and I appreciate it. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this song does once the studio version drops, because I feel like hearing it all the way will give it even more context and probably make a lot more sense. I can't wait for that moment, honestly. Another cool thing is the satirical element of the song. The way KATSEYE is portraying being an internet girl is actually kind of smart. On one hand, it's fun and catchy, but on the other hand, it's a little critical of how women are treated online. There's a duality there that I really appreciate. They're poking fun at themselves and the internet world while still giving us a banger of a song. It's subtle, but it's there. And I think that adds a layer of depth that people might miss if they're just focusing on the lyrics alone. It's playful commentary disguised as a pop song, and I really love seeing that kind of creativity. I also want to say, the snippets I've seen show how visually appealing the performance is. The lighting, the costumes, the staging, it all matches the song perfectly. You can see that every detail was thought out. From the way they move to the way the camera angles highlight certain choreography moments, it's fun, it's energetic, and it's exactly what you want from a live performance from a group like KATSEYE. They know how to put on a show, and even without hearing the full studio version, it's clear that this song is going to be a fan favorite, at least in terms of live performances. And again, just a reminder, if you're scrolling through your For You page and see the song before it's officially released, don't feel like you have to click it. You can scroll right past it, use the not interested feature, or just wait until the studio version comes out. Trust me, it will be worth it. But if you do watch the clips, be prepared for some gnarly energy and some cheeky choreography. And yes, the Eat Zucchini moment is going to be talked about endlessly. It's already starting to trend online, and that's kind of hilarious. It's fun, it's chaotic, and it's exactly the type of thing KATSEYE would do to get people talking. So overall, my take on Internet Girl is that I really like it. It's fun, it's catchy, it's playful, it has a little cheekiness, and it's clever in its own way. The lyrics might be a little odd, yes, but the performance, the energy, the concept more than make up for it. I think KATSEYE is trying to make a statement while also giving us a song that's easy to get into, fun to watch, and shareable online. And I think they succeeded. I can't wait to hear the full studio version and see how it all comes together. I also can't wait to see it live in concert. Hopefully, one day, I get the chance. But for now, I'll live through the clips online and enjoy it that way. Before I wrap up, I just want to say again, if you liked this video, please subscribe, hit that like button, and comment below. I want to know what you think about Internet Girl, what your thoughts on the Eat Zucchini lyric are, and if you've seen any live clips from the tour. Actually, comment the phrase internet vibes if you watched all the way to the end, just so I know you made it here, and I'll see your comments. I love reading what you guys think and interacting with you, and it really helps me out. Alright, that's enough for today. Internet Girl is a banger, even if it's a little weird at times, and I'm excited for the studio version so we can finally hear it fully. KATSEYE continues to surprise me with their creativity, energy, and the ability to make something unforgettable. Even with questionable lyrics, they pull it off. And I love seeing that. Can't wait to see what they do next, and I hope you're all as excited as I am. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.